Seth Rollins cashes in his Money in the Bank in the first night of SummerSlam 2025, recreating his iconic heist of the century in a great fashion. Look, I kinda expected this to go down like CM Punk wins the championship off of Gunther, and then Seth comes in and steals the championship and ends the night with his big victory like he did back 10 years ago in WrestleMania 31. It was the same stadium, it was the same energy, the same aura, Seth Rollins being the heel. So after 10 years, everything was on its place for the recreation of history. And he did recreate history by yet another cash-in the main event, makes us see him as the champion holder in the end of the big event. In my thoughts, WWE did a great job by doing this, because first, CM Punk doesn't need a world championship reign at this point in his career. He doesn't really need it. And Gunther as a world heavyweight champion has always been a massive failure in his both title reigns. The only thing that we saw was fillers, unimportant matches, and just that him facing against jobbers and against nobody. Look, the fact is that in his whole title reign of nearly 1 year in 2 separate title reigns, his biggest opponent was Jey Uso, and you know how Jey Uso was being treated by the fans at that point. So WWE pulled the trigger on Jey, and we all saw how that didn't work out and how people turned against Jey and started giving him legit hate after he won the Royal Rumble and he became the champion. And I truly wasn't behind the Jey Uso hate because I really appreciated his work, but I completely agree that him as world heavyweight champion was truly meaningless and he made the champion look like a toy. So because of that, they gave the championship back to Gunther, and the only thing that we got out of his second title reign was him retiring Goldberg, and that is it. So it was a wise choice to make Gunther drop the championship. Look, I love Gunther, and I actually said in one of my shorts that he is the best WWE superstar in the current roster, but his booking as the World Heavyweight Champion was god awful. And him as the Intercontinental Champion was the true legitimate heel championship reign that we really felt like this is important, this is big, this truly means something. But on the other hand, him as the World Heavyweight Champion, it never felt special. It never felt like this is the biggest prize in Raw. And this was not just a Gunther and Jey problem. The championship never felt special to me. It was always something that they gave it to the superstar that they believed deserve a championship reign, but not as the #1 guy on the roster. A great #2, or even sometimes #3, or even #4. So now I have this little hope that Seth Rollins will make something out of it this time, because he's a great heel and the guys that are chasing over him are legitimate main event talent that people are behind, like Roman Reigns and CM Punk, which is really great because on Gunther's case it wasn't really there. The guys that were chasing him was normal mid-card, mid-level talent that he was beefing with, he was feuding with. So that is a clear step up there. I really like this new Seth character. I think him as a heel is the right choice, because I'm not gonna say that he was a bad babyface, but him as a heel is just something way more special, and him recreating the heist of the century truly meant something special to me. And I hope Seth Rollins as the World Heavyweight Championship does something to improve the prestige of the championship and make it more like a World Heavyweight Champion that we can feel as the top rise in WWE, that something is there for Raw side of things. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. That was a quick rant just for me to say that I appreciate this cash-in of Money in the Bank that made the SummerSlam truly special, that made the main event truly feel like a main event, and making this moment one of the big shockers that we are seeing in the internet. Have a good day. Goodbye.